Y'all, Steve ain't it ain't just music and cars. I mean, you have a clothing line. You know what I'm saying? You got the Airbnbs, you got properties, you got cars, you got a printing a shop. I mean, bro, you're everywhere with it.
Yeah.
Like, you're probably one of the...
Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Dennis Boateng. I'm your host, and welcome to Generational Maneuvers. Generational, relating to a particular generation or to the relationships between particular generations. Maneuvers, a movement or series of moves requiring skill and care. Your story may not look or sound like mine, but I know that you're in a place to share some gems that could inspire generations to come. Every move is towards the future. Make it count. Welcome to Generational Maneuvers.
Today, I have an amazing guest, my brother, my friend, my homie, mentor, all of that, you know, and we come from the same city too. So today I want to introduce you guys to Steve James.
Yes, sir.
What's good, bro? How you doing?
It's popping, brother.
Hey, you already know, I told you that I wanted to sit down with you and do this interview just because I felt like it was really necessary. Not just because you're my brother, but because I feel like you have a lot of information. You could drop a lot of gems that could help so many communities.
For sure.
And not just that, because I think it's important for people to really tap in with people like yourself, who I consider like the plug's plug. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you were able to get plugged in through your experiences and everything, and then you became the plug for others, but you're a selfless plug. You know what I'm saying? There is no you got to do this and that for it to, you just got to be a genuine person who has some type of drive, you know what I'm saying, for you to be like, hey, yo, I got some information for you.
For sure.
You know, so I'm bigging you up, but all this is like legit reality.
Nah, that's love though, for real, man.
You know,
and I think that's the biggest thing is that's what it's all about, bro. We live in a society where people want to hoard the information, and it's like there's room for everybody to eat.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
You gotta want it. You gotta want it for yourself.
Yeah.
And you know, once you got the information, and it's like just run with it.
Nah,
you know
facts,
what I mean?
Facts. And also too, for everybody who's in here, we are family men too. You know what I'm saying? We both married. We got kids. So we actually
so
in the house.
Y'all hear? Yeah, we in the house. So you hear Coco Melon and toys and all types of craziness that's going on.
Yeah. Because the thing is too, I think is important for people to understand is like, just because you have responsibilities of family doesn't mean that you can't do the things that you have going on. That's something that I've learned from you and other bros of mine who have more skin in the game than me. It's like, yeah, I have a wife, yeah, I have kids, but the ball's still going. You know what I'm saying? I still shoot my shots. I still get the plays done. And that's one thing that I continue to see from you that I've adopted into my lifestyle as a husband and a father too.
For sure. I mean, you got it's one of those things. Once you have a family, once once that happens, it's like the grind has to go hard. It's different when you fending for self.
Facts.
You know what I mean? I moved way different when it was just me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So when you taking care of providing for your family, it's like by any means.
Any means.
You know what I mean? And
That's right.
and you can't allow anything or anyone to get in between you and providing for
no such thing as competition.
No such thing as competition, bro.
Yeah. So I do want you to, tell people a bit about your story. Like I said, we are from the same city. We all went to the same high school and everything. But I want you to kind of tell your story a bit, like where you from, where you was raised, your background, how'd you get to LA, you know what I mean? That type of thing.
For sure. I'm from Indianapolis, the west side of Indianapolis, Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
So I was born in Rantoul, Illinois, which is a small area in Illinois.
Yeah.
But I moved to Indianapolis when I was 3 years old. So
Gotcha.
I don't even remember,
you
know what I mean,
that
part of it. So, moving to Indianapolis, I was 3 years old, born and raised there. both my parents, they still together. So
Yep.
that's where that background,
Yeah.
still comes from. When you come from that foundation, you want to continue to do those things that you
That's
see
right.
your parents do.
Yep.
And so growing up, I went to Pike High School.
Yeah, you already know.
Which is one of the best high schools in the Midwest.
Yeah, I agree 1,000%. A lot of a lot of legends.
A lot of legends.
Yeah.
But I moved to California. So basically, just a quick overview because my story is it's very long.
Yeah, we're gonna need a Netflix special.
Yeah,
soon.
you're gonna need a lot. But long story short, I love music. Music was my passion. Music is my passion. I'm not gonna say was. Music is my passion.
Yeah.
Back then, it was like, I went to college. I went to Purdue.
Mm-hmm.
So I graduated in 08.
Mm-hmm.
So I worked. So that was soon as 2008. That's when the
whole crash
the
and
crash,
everything.
the big crash happened. So
Yeah.
no jobs. You know what I mean? I literally I started working at St. Vincent's Women's Hospital.
Mm-hmm.
I was there for 2 years, but I knew I wanted to do more. You know what I mean? And I just felt like in order to really blossom, I had to get out of the city.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was actually crazy because at that time, I moved to LA 2011.
Mm-hmm.
So, people really wasn't moving
Nah.
at this time. It wasn't like,
no.
you telling somebody you moving across the world. It's like, no, you're not.
Nah.
And it's like, man, yes, I am actually.
Yeah. No, that's so true. Because I can't remember that being a thing that people talked about. People talked about maybe getting a crib somewhere nicer.
Yeah.
But they wasn't talking about, I'm gonna move to LA. It was always just a not even a dream. It's just something that you saw on TV.
Yeah, no, facts. And it was for me, like when you graduate in college and just being younger, you don't know anything but, your environment.
Nah, facts. That's very
So
true.
it's like, once you start traveling, once you start, really meeting other people, traveling to different places, and it's like, man, there's so much more to life than where you was brought up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that was the biggest thing for me. I was able to, really explore and just like see like, oh man, it's really popping out here.
Yeah.
And you just got to just,
And you talking about, you're not even talking about in the country. You talking outside.
Yeah.
Like
I'm talking
was
about
Europe.
Yeah, I'm
you
talking
was-
about that. So because it was one of those things like once you get a passport, it's like I'm about to have
free-
a passport and it
free
be collecting
game.
dust.
Yeah, you gotta go.
I'm about to go and see what's really good.
Yeah.
So just off of that, so graduating and then I had took a trip to LA. We did it like a guys trip.
Yeah.
So we went to LA and I just fell in love. Like
Yeah.
it was just that type of. It was like a different air.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? People, it's young dudes, 19, 21,
Getting
pulling
to
up
it.
in Lambos and Ferraris. It's like, man, what are y'all doing?
Yeah.
So that was kind of the motivation that I needed because I'm like, I wanted more for myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that was really the drive it took, man. And then, I quit my job and put my 2-week notice in. I tanked out my 401k.
Mm-hmm.
So I had $2,500.
Man.
I had a Nissan Altima. I shipped the Nissan Altima to California.
Yeah.
Mind you, well, hold on, I got to back up.
Yeah. Please.
I had a job opportunity to be like a model for it was a new liquor that came out. It was a rosé gold or something. It was a new champagne that came out.
Yeah.
So I had the opportunity to be like the
face of
not
the
really
brand
the
kinda.
face, but more so like go to events, network.
Oh, like
tell
an
people about
ambassador.
Yeah, ambassador. So
Yeah.
it was one thing where it's just like, oh, you can come here, we could do events.
Yeah.
They was gonna pay me like $700.
Yeah.
$700.
Like a night
an event.
Event. Okay.
So I'm like, oh, I can make $2,800, $3,000 a month.
And we're talking about
2008.
2008. Oh, 2011. So that's pretty
For
decent
sure.
money.
That's all I needed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's all I needed because I knew what I had to do for myself.
That's right.
Mind you, I wasn't married. I didn't have no kids. It was just me.
Yep.
So that $2,800, I'm like, oh, I can make that stretch.
Yeah.
Man, I get to California. I think I might have did 3 events. Mm-hmm. So the $2,500 that I had, gone.
Yeah.
The money from the event that I had, gone. Because I was in the mix. Like I'm like, oh, when I first moved, I was everywhere.
Yeah.
I'm going out, I'm networking, I'm meeting people, the whole thing. But it was like, nah, this ain't it.
No.
Because now I done tanked all of that bread.
Yep.
I didn't have no foundation. I didn't have nothing out here. I didn't have no family except for my boys, Mike Jones, Tony, and Courtney.
Yeah.
We came out here,
Yeah. Trying to get it.
They were already here. And they're like, yeah, come on.
Yep.
So I was staying at Mama Jones' crib. I'm like, man, I got to get a crib. Like, I can't be, I literally, like, you hear those stories and people like, oh, man, I was sleeping in my car. And I don't even like saying it, but that's real reality because, you really trying to figure it out. So it was a point where I was just, I was trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
So I had slept in my car. I was sleeping on couches and trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
But then it's like, I'm going around looking at apartments because all that money that I had, I'm like, oh, I got to put this into
towards something. Yeah.
Found an apartment. Mm-hmm. We moved into an apartment. And then next thing you know, it was just like, all right, this is, it was this gradual steps.
Yeah.
And so when I first moved to LA, I started working for that company.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then that was like done. Yeah. So I'm like, man, what am I gonna do?
Yeah.
So I met this girl and her family, they worked at TSA. Mm-hmm. They did TSA at the private airports. Yeah. So they were like taking the pro athletes, private jet situation. So I would, wind them down, do all of that. So that was good. It was good money, but you didn't work that much. Yeah. In LA, it's like, man, you gotta, you know what I mean? Because it's expensive out here. And it was expensive then. So, nothing changed when it came to that. Yeah. Just like now, it's just everything is just more. So, once I did that, I'm like, okay, I got to figure something else out. I got a job at Enterprise. Yep. My boy got me on. He went to Purdue with me. He was working there. He's like, man, I can get you on. So got on an Enterprise. I worked there for 2 years. Now, one of their top sellers, bro. Yeah. Like just completely killing it when it came to sales. Yeah. And that's when I was just like, man, I'm good at this. It was just that mentality of, just being the best. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. Being an athlete and doing all of that stuff. Like, I grew up playing sports through grade school all the way up through college. You know what I mean? So just having that type of fight in me and that competitive nature, I wanted to be the best at what I was doing. You know what I mean? And long story short, with Enterprise, I literally, like, when people say when you go to a job, like, learn their systems. Yep. Like Enterprise, we were in a recession. Yeah. And they wasn't in no recession. Nah. They're hiring people outside of college. As soon as you get out of college, you can come get a job.
But they put you in their system.
They putting you to work.
Yep.
Now, the only thing I didn't like about it was what we was getting paid.
Yeah.
Bro, when I was working at Enterprise, bro, I was making $11.88.
Chump change.
$11.88.
That's like almost like disrespectful now.
It was disrespectful then.
And it's disrespectful now. Yeah, facts.
Because, bro, I was working so much.
Yeah.
Like, literally, me and Tony, we would literally come home, like, first of all, we're going 6 in the morning. We're getting there at 7 o'clock. We're working to 7 o'clock. We wouldn't get home sometimes to 8 o'clock. Man. And then we get up. It was just a recycle, you know what I mean? Just a cycle of just
repetitive.
We worked so much. It's like, man, but we were working to work our way up. Yeah. Because that's what it was. It was like, oh yeah, you can go to the next position, you know what I mean? Make $50,000. We was only making like $32,000.
Yeah, 32.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was like, oh yeah, the next step is 50,000, and then it'd be at 6 figures.
Yeah, you're trying to climb that corporate ladder.
It was that. And I was, I'm just like, all right, this is cool. Mm-hmm. I got in a car accident, messed my back up. That allowed me to. I was collecting disability.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, I got to figure this out.
Yeah. What
now,
do you
mind you, the music is what I was here for.
That's right.
So the whole time when I'm doing all of these different jobs, I'm networking. Oh yeah, I do music. I'm all of that.
See, that's good though, right there though, because I feel like anybody else would probably lose focus. You know what I mean? You start getting a little bit of money,
yeah.
And you're working your way up. You're like, yeah, maybe that may not be promising. Others might be like, yo, I need a second job.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? So it's almost like you're getting further and further away from your dream because you're thinking about surviving.
Yeah, for
sure. You know what I'm saying? But
I was
chose to do something different.
I was in survival mode. Like, you know what I mean? But that allowed me, it was like, okay, if I can pay my rent, if I can pay my car note, I can put food on my table.
That's
like,
right.
You know what I mean? Like, I know how to make I know how to make it stretch.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And that's what I was doing. So I was in survival mode, but it was like you get to the point where, like, because I was there for 2 years. Mm-hmm. So, you working for 2 years. Now it's like, okay, I'm getting complacent.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, now I'm in corporate mode. I hate it.
Yeah.
Because it's like, man, we working so much. We putting 70-year-olds in Camaros, and just the ethic of it was all the way off. Yeah. You know what I mean? But I had to do it because this is what, like, oh yeah, put her in this. Yeah. Put her in that. Like, bro, she's 70. You want me to put her in a Chevy Camaro? Just the ethics of it was just like, you know what I mean? Man. The moral, I was just, I was conflicted with it, but it's like, I had to do what I had to do. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because I'm not about to lose my job because of it. Yeah. But, when I got in the car accident, that allowed me, I went 120% on the music. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I'm like, oh, okay. So then I set up, because I never went to studios. Like when I was in NAP, I had a whole, like, I turned my living room into a studio. I had a little setup, you know what I mean? I had my board and I had my laptop, and I would literally record.
Self-efficiency.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I already was in that mode.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I'm not going to go to no studio because, they charging $50, $75 an hour. Yeah. I don't have it.
Yeah.
Let me learn how to, so I self-taught myself how to use all of that equipment. Mm-hmm. So all of that came from, I put out my very first project in Indianapolis when I moved to California. So I was already working on a mixtape.
That's right.
I'm like, I got to have something.
Yeah.
So, when I got to California, that was it. I was
working.
Listen to this. To this. You know what I mean? Building that buzz. So when I knew that when the accident occurred, I'm like, I'm in the same mode. I had the setup at the crib. Yeah. Then I started I got a little bit better equipment. You know what I mean? Yeah. Just help from the family, family helping me just survive.
Yeah, maneuver through it all.
Like, because at that point when you're, it's tough to, when you have your back against the wall, and then it's like, the ego is a crazy thing. Yeah. You know what I mean? And we get to the point where it's like, I'm not gonna ask nobody for help.
Oh, man, look.
You know what I mean?
It's so easy to do that.
It's so easy to do. But it's like, but why not? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? 100 people might tell you no, but you just need one yes,
one person
that can, change the narrative and switch things up for you.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So just being in that situation, it made everything come to light, because now it's like, oh, okay, I'm on disability. Mm-hmm. I can't work. You know what I mean? So that allowed me to really like focus in on the music.
Yo, that's crazy. So you were on disability, but you were the most able to follow your dreams, bro.
Exactly, bro.
Crazy.
So
that's a bar.
That is a bar. Yeah. So knowing that, it's like, oh, so it was to the point where I'm like, well, I got to milk this disability thing because I ain't going back.
No.
So then they calling me like, Steve, you all right? Because mind you,
you're doing well. You're one of the top sellers. They want you back.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Because I'm doing my, like, they didn't want to get rid of me.
No.
Then Uber came out.
Okay.
So Uber was that was my.
And the thing is too, being on California, that's almost a benefit because everything comes out here first.
Everything's first.
So it runs from Silicon Valley down to LA before it touches anywhere else.
So, bro, I was literally, as soon as I found out about Uber, I was like, oh, all I need is my own whip.
Yeah.
It was a wrap.
Yeah.
Enterprise, peace.
I'm out of
not
here.
coming back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm following my dreams because now I don't have no boss.
Yeah.
That was the biggest thing for me. I don't like being micromanaged.
Yeah.
Like, and I feel like to this day, like that's when I graduated from college, it was just in my mind. I'm like, I don't like you telling me
what to do.
You can go to lunch.
Yeah.
And you only got 30 minutes to eat your food. That just never, and on top of that, you're paying me $11.88. I can see if I was making six figures. You say, oh, yeah, go take an hour lunch.
Yeah.
It's totally different.
Yeah.
I just didn't like that. That wasn't for me. Yeah. So Uber allowed me, it was like, oh, I don't have no boss. Yeah. Now, mind you, with Uber, that's when discipline comes into place.
That's right.
Because you ain't got nobody telling you to wake up and go drive.
Nope.
You got to have that drive to wake up and go drive.
You literally got to make that decision. I've been there. Like, literally, you wake up at 5 a.m.
It's time to go.
You got to go.
Bro, I was making so much money. I was like, oh, this is crazy.
Yeah.
I was making $1,500, $1,800 a week.
A week.
And I didn't have no boss.
No.
So that was the game changer for me because I'm like, oh, this is perfect for what I'm trying to do. I can still do my music. I can still do whatever I want and go drive and go make the money. And then, because I would literally set my alarm in the morning to go work. I'll break at, 3, 4 o'clock.
Yep.
If I done made my $300-400 in that time span, it was a wrap.
Come on now.
I'm going to go record and I'm getting right back to it. Now, mind you, I was so on it because Uber, it was new.
Yeah.
So I'm talking about as soon as you drop somebody off, ding, you picking somebody up.
One,
I would literally be recording and have my Uber app on just in case a ride came through. I lay a bar down and bing. Oh, I'm out of here.
Yeah, gotta go.
Let me go get this money real quick. So that was it for me.
Yeah.
Uber was the entrepreneur jump starter for me.
Yeah.
And then after that, man, my dentist family, my personal dentist, his family, they owned a fleet of cars. This is when Uber Lux, Black and Lux came out. So he had all the BMWs, the Teslas, he had all of that. So when I went to the dentist, he was like, "Yeah, my son has a whatchamacallit." He's like, "I know you work for Uber, he needs drivers."
Yeah.
Now, mind you, you make more. You make almost $4 a mile with this new platform because now they're trying to get people to do
luxury.
Yeah, because before it was just Uber X.
Yeah.
But then they started adding tiers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So now I'm driving. Now I have a car that I'm taking home. It's here you go. Go drive.
Yep.
So now I got a luxury vehicle.
Come on.
I'm driving.
You experiencing and using it to make money.
The whole shebang, bro. Yeah. It's 2000 and at this point, so 11, 12, 13, 2000, 2014.
Yeah.
So now I'm in this 2014. I'm driving in the BMW,
the latest
brand new
joint.
boy.
Come on,
740.
Yeah.
Tesla. This is when Teslas first came out. People's like, "How you got a Tesla?"
Yeah. Don't know.
All I know is I'm driving this thing to get to the bag.
That's right.
That was it.
That's right.
And I'm my own boss.
That's right.
You know what I mean? The only thing I didn't like about it was it was the middleman situation.
Yeah.
Because now it's like, oh, okay, you can do this, but we're going to do a 60-40 split. They keep 60.
Yeah.
I keep 40. Yeah. So I'm busting my butt.
Yeah. To make you money
every day. Yeah. And then it was to the point where I was just only covering that.
Yeah.
So it's like, man, how can I get my, I even asked, how can I get my own truck and, because he had the Suburbans and all that. He had the fleet.
Yeah.
And I'm just a young, I'm trying to get to it. Bro, how I get my own, I put my own, I got good credit.
Yep.
I never messed my credit up. That was the thing.
Which is very important though.
Very important. The thing about it is I never my situation was so different because I never, you know how a lot of people are like, oh yeah, I went into credit card debt. Like I went into credit card debt, but I was paying it off.
Yeah.
I never allowed no card or anything. So my credit was always solid.
Which goes into the whole financial literacy thing that, it's so huge right now on the information of financial literacy. But I feel like at first it wasn't something that was heavily talked about.
Right.
It was only a few people in the community that would talk about it. But even when they did try, a lot of people be like, "Man, shut up! What you talking about? We ain't listening to you.
Yeah, we not listening to it. And I think that's what holds us down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's like you need to know these things in order to flourish in life.
Man.
You know what I mean? So
especially the way the world is moving now. Me and you've had conversations, even something as simple as the crypto and the NFT or Airbnb and Tura, all these platforms and things that are being created that are teaching people how to exchange services, how to build businesses, how to build an empire.
For sure.
You have to understand the language.
You have to, bro. It's so important.
And it's okay to learn from people that don't look like you too.
For sure. And I mean, bro, I didn't even know half of the people that I met when I first moved out here were Armenians.
Yeah.
I didn't even know what an Armenian was. I'm like, bro, who are all these people? And they were all in the transportation.
Yeah.
So it's like when you start meeting people and talking like, oh, bro, we leveraging credit over here. So it's like you take these things because at this point, you're a sponge.
Yeah.
Like when you don't have the knowledge, like become a sponge.
That's right.
Allow yourself to feed off of different people. Like, oh, you got this? Like, oh, okay, how'd you get that? How'd you obtain this?
Yep.
Like, people get so caught up in like, oh, I'm not gonna ask. I'm asking.
You got to.
How'd you do that?
Yep.
And I need to know. Just give me the little sprinkle. And a lot of times people are like, oh well, it was da. People don't want to give you the sauce.
They don't.
The dude with the transportation, he didn't want to give me the sauce.
Yeah.
But then I figured it out.
Yeah. Because so here's the thing there. So first of all, you got to ask the question, like you said. You got to put your pride aside and ask the questions. Mm-hmm. Ask the right questions. Or you even almost got to walk the person that you want the information from. You have to walk them into making them comfortable so they just freely give you the information.
See, and it's one thing. I think the biggest thing, like, I'm an open book.
Yeah.
So if someone were to hit me, I mean, people hit me up all the time on Facebook like, oh, bro, how did you? I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I'm not going. This is like I want my people to be able to flourish.
Yeah.
You got to want it for yourself. I can tell you people can tell you the information whenever.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't want to put it in place.
Yeah.
You just add and now it's the difference when you just asking and not trying to put it into work.
Exactly. And that's one thing I was gonna say. Like, I feel like when you see a successful person and they're close by, you better ask as many questions as you can.
Why not?
Right then, before they get to a whole different level,
and then
when you got to pay for consultation, because that's where you at now.
For sure, because and I'm gonna finish the story of the trucks just to show like I didn't take no for an answer. He told me no, like nah, I can't do that no more. And then mind you, Uber was so. Like once people found out that they can get these cars, people was buying up 10, 12 SUVs and renting them out.
Yeah.
It got to the point where it was so oversaturated, they stopped accepting the cars on Uber platform.
Wow.
So that's where he was at. He was like, man, they're not taking no more cars. They're not taking no more cars on the platform. I'm like, and the biggest lesson out of that is when you're an entrepreneur or when you're a go-getter, you don't allow a no.
You can't.
To deter you from figuring it out.
Yeah.
No is not. If you tell me no, okay. The next thing for me is how.
Yeah.
How do I figure it out to figure it out?
Because everything is solution based.
Everything's a solution.
And that's why I don't believe in the word No, when it comes to you wanting to be successful, and I don't believe in saturation. When somebody are oversaturated. No, that just means there's room for something else to be created.
And it's all about your niche.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like people get so caught up in like, and that's what he told me. He's like, oh yeah, well there's no more things. I'm like, I got to figure this out because number one, you not giving me no leeway.
Yeah.
All the money I'm literally driving, bro, like crazy. I burnt myself out. That was when it got to the point for me where I'm like, oh, I can't do this no more.
Yeah.
Because now I burnt myself out and I wasn't making the money that I knew I could be making.
That's right.
So guess what I did?
What you do, bro?
I still had the Corolla. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, oh, okay. I'm going to rent my Corolla out.
There we go. Next step. There we go.
So now I'm renting my Corolla out. I'm still driving.
Yeah.
But that was paying for the car note and I was putting money in my pocket.
That's it.
The only thing with that, I couldn't control
when
the money situation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's just like the money for them, because this is Uber X.
Yep.
I'm renting a car for Uber X.
Yep.
They're paying them directly. So now I gotta say, hey, all right, it's Monday. I need you to pay your rental fee.
Yep.
But then you got people that's like, oh man, I
didn't make enough this week.
Yeah, I didn't make enough this week. Or man, my other car needed an oil change. It's like, bro, what does that have to do with
that? Has nothing to do with our agreement.
Car? Yeah, what does that have to do? But what can I do?
Yeah,
because the money's not coming to me. So I'm like, oh, I got to change this completely up.
Yeah.
So then I went to Uber, talked to one of the head persons. I'm like, look, I need to put this vehicle on there. I bought a car. Mm-hmm. They told me, oh, no, that's what it was. I bought a car like, oh, I'm about to just do it.
Yeah.
That's when I found out that there was no more.
They weren't taking no more.
So I'm like, I'm going in the Uber office. I'm like, I already done bought this car.
Yeah.
Like, this is a $50,000 car.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
what's going on?
What are we going to do?
Yeah.
So, nah, you can't do it. You can't do this, that. But
crazy.
I was not taking no for an answer because I have a $50,000 car. Mind you, the Corolla I had that I was renting out got totaled. That's what made me get
the new car.
The new car. So I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get the Suburban. I'm gonna drive the Suburban. So I drove the Suburban to figure out what it was like.
Yep.
Figure out all of oh, okay, this is what I need to do. This is what I need to do. And then I started doing the same thing.
Yeah. Once again,
Uber got me into the game.
Yep.
And I'm like, oh, it's a wrap.
Yep.
So I went from one truck
to the
renting
next.
that one out. I got another truck. I was up to 4 trucks, and I would just rent them out.
Ahead of the game.
I was ahead. I literally, that curve, that stage in my life, that's what took things to the next level.
Yeah.
Because it's like now I've become not only my own boss, but I've become outsource for
other people who can create their own schedule.
And I feed more off of like, if I can help you get to the bag, that does more for me, because it's like, dang, I have the power to really change somebody's life for them to be able to provide for their family and their family.
Yeah.
And people get so caught up like, no, I want to keep the bag for myself.
Yeah.
That right there, it was just like, that changed everything for me. So
and it can get lonely getting the bag by yourself.
For sure.
You ain't got nobody to break bread with, nobody to share with, no one that you've helped succeed that's like, yo, hey, like let's help more people. You have no team.
You have no team. And it's a lot of people that's like that. It's a lot of people who are the breadwinner and they not putting their people in the position to be the breadwinner with them.
And
I think people get it's like some type of weird, like, I'm the boss.
Yeah, but you're not really a boss if you can't put nobody else in position.
If you're not making the people around you no money, you can't consider
Shout out
yourself
to
a boss, bro.
Rick Ross and Dame Dash, who kind of speak the same language on that. Where it's like, if you call yourself a boss, but your homies around you ain't bosses, then you're not really a boss.
But see, and here's the thing to that though, they gotta want it.
Yeah,
the homies gotta want it.
They do. That's very true.
Because you can throw somebody a lob, whether or not they gonna dunk it or not, that's on them.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So I think that's really the difference. It's like surrounding yourself with people like, oh, let's go get it together. Like if you got an opportunity, like let's get to it together.
Yeah, that's right.
You know what I mean? And when that happens, it just changes the narrative for generations. Like, you know what I mean? And I think that's what's the podcast
Come
called?
on, generational maneuvers.
You feel me? Like that's the name speaks for itself.
It's got to. And you've been part of the development of this just off of the relationship that we've built. Sure. I mean, just off of day one, it's always been, dang, bro, what do you do? Okay, you do graphic work? Oh, bet. I got music. I need this. I need that. Oh, how much you charge?
And that's crazy because it's like, oh, I didn't have too much pride to not. Oh, what you do, bro?
No.
Oh, what you do?
No.
Oh, well, let's work.
Yeah.
That I think that's the part that gets missed in the everything. It's just like, oh, bro, I'm too good to do that. It's like, no, because when you told me what everything that you was doing, I'm like, bro, I need all of that.
Yeah, facts.
And guess what? I'm going to pay you to do it.
Yeah.
This is not because you get to a point where if I know that I add value, you're not going to get that for free.
No.
Because I'm adding value to something that you need to be able to take and make your bread with.
And I was going to say that too, is like, just off of the work that we did together and we continue to do, it's also helped me like put a better foundation under the business that me and my wife had, to where it was just like, okay, cool. Well, we know what to do, how much to charge, how to work with people, because you was even giving me advice on certain things.
No,
like,
for sure.
Nah, bro, you charging too low. You gotta, nah, bro, that's too low. Bring the price up. Like, and putting that confidence.
Know your worth.
Yeah, bro.
Know your worth. It's not bad to charge people.
It's
like,
not.
We got to get out of the, like, if this is my job, like, this is what I charge.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Like, we got to get out of that. Like, now I understand, like, if it's not in your budget, that's different.
That's different. Yep.
You know what I mean? But if you getting something and you running it and it's just like, oh, bro, can you do it for? Yeah. It's different when you have a budget.
Yeah.
Now we can work with the budget.
Yep.
Now, if I tell you something's $1,000 and you're like, oh, bro, but can you do it for $7? Like, $7 is my budget. That's totally different because now we having a conversation.
Yeah, but if you come into me on some like like
out the gate, we ain't even never worked together, and you want a discount.
No. That's not the language we speak at all, because it's almost a disrespect to all the time, work, and experience, that I put in to be able to get where I'm at. Yeah, it's funny because with the whole graphic design side, that was never really my thing that I wanted to do, but I remember seeing a quote where it said, you're paying $1,000 for a logo that I created because it took me between 5 to 10 years to be able to become the graphic designer that I am today. Facts. So same thing with you. How you move, and y'all, Steve ain't it ain't just music and cars. I mean, you have a clothing line. You know what I'm saying? You got the Airbnbs, you got properties, you got cars, you got a printing a shop. I mean, bro, you're everywhere with it. Yeah. Like, you're probably one of the people that I have to say, like, when it comes to a serial entrepreneur, I mean, I see it. You know what I'm saying? We talk dang near every day, but I see you, bro. How you move is almost, from the outside looking in, is almost, it looks effortless, because it's like, yo, this dude has balance. It's crazy how you move. Yeah. Like, where did you even like learn to move like that with that many businesses?
Man, I think the biggest thing for me was I just knew I wanted more. You know what I mean? We get so like, if I'm doing one thing, it's like, okay, I've mastered this thing. Yeah. Like the trucks, I mastered it. Yeah. The transportation, I mastered it. Yes, so it's just like, oh, okay, well, this is running itself. Yeah. Now what I do? I can't sit down and play the game.
Can be content. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just like, oh, well, what else can I do?
That's right.
Then that's when all of these little things start coming. Like now, Airbnb, the apartment that I had, we all moved out, and I'm like, oh, I got to Airbnb this joint. Yep. Because it's I didn't want to lose it. It was so cheap. Yeah. And it's 2015, 16 at the time. Yeah. So I'm like, oh man, I gotta, you know what I mean? In that joint, the very first day that I posted it, my very first Airbnb booked for a month.
Crazy.
Out the gate.
You were the only person, I must say, bro. Anytime you be like, bro, new property, it's already booked for 2 months. I'm like, bro, you just put it up.
I think it's the fearlessness.
Yeah.
it's the risk.
Yeah.
Like I get a rush out of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, because I see other people doing it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, bro, I have the same,
Yeah.
I have the same hustle, the same drive, all of that.
Yeah.
And I want a piece of all of that.
That's right.
And I think that's where it's like, that's where it shifts for me, because now it's like, I ain't scared to take a risk. I done took so many losses in different things. Like, I done lost so much money in just different things that it'll make somebody's stomach hurt. Like, bro, how
are you going?
bouncing back?
Yeah.
Because it's like, bro, real bosses take losses.
They do.
And they bounce back from that loss.
They got to.
If you don't bounce back from the loss,
yeah, that you just have a story to tell. With
that's part of it, bro. And
victory.
And taking losses is part of it. Like, you know what I mean? When the whole, losses is lessons. Yeah. Like that always stuck with me. It's like, nah, this is not a loss. This is a lesson. This is what I need to do different this time to not make that happen.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So I think that's the biggest thing. It's just like, be fearless. Like you're not gonna get no money without taking no risk.
You just can't, man. It's playing it safe ain't the safe way to go.
It's not, man.
I feel like there's more wolves on the way of taking it safe than there are in taking the path of risk.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
You not going, like, when you take a risk is literally like on your own muscle, you know what I'm saying? Your faith. Like you can lean on your faith and just what you've gone through to be able to make it.
For sure.
God is there.
For sure.
When you take the safe route, it's just like, man, anybody who's going to take advantage of you is there waiting.
Like, oh, you going, okay.
Oh, you safe? Okay.
So,
yeah.
And I think that's the difference. Like, my faith is so strong. Like, at the end of the day, I know God ain't gonna put more than me than I can bear.
That's right.
So that's how I go into that mind. Even when I moved to Nap, moved from Nap.
Yeah.
Like, that was, what?
Yeah.
Bro, you only have $2,500 to your name.
Moving to California, to LA.
That right there alone.
You can't, look, bro, you can't even get a one bedroom.
Bro, you can't get nothing with $2,500. Bro, I ran through that probably there was times when I just wasn't eating because I'm like, I got to make this stretch. That money went so fast.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And on top of being in that lifestyle. So now I'm going out, you know what I mean? I'm meeting other people, but I'm just seeing how everybody is just like LA is just like once you're here and you see how everyone's moving, it's like, oh yeah, everybody out here broke. Everybody, but I'm saying, but most of the when you're in the club, you're throwing your last, to look good for people who really got it.
Yeah.
And on top of that, who don't care about what you got going on,
unless you're moving different.
Bro.
Because here's the thing with someone like yourself or even me is like, we're not exactly where we want to be, but we ain't at the bottom.
No, for
sure. You know what I'm saying? We really making moves, but we go into these places knowing that, hey, we know how to network, we know how to move. We're not here to be fans and all of that. Now we're here to, hey man, this is who I am. This is what I do. Let's set up a meeting and let's get something going.
People take you more serious. Mm-hmm. And people take you more serious when you move that way. Yeah, you know what I mean. Like, cause people can weed out when it's just like, come on, man, about business, bro. I know how to get over on you.
That's right.
You know what I mean. And I done had that happen. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You putting the trust into people because that's what it is. Like when you move out here, you don't know.
You don't.
You just like meeting. And I'm talking about some of the people that I first met. Yeah. I'm still close to this day. Yeah. Because we all were out here all at the same time, struggling.
That's right.
We was all trying to figure it out.
That's right.
And I think that's the difference when you know somebody like, oh, if we came up together, you struggling, I'm struggling. Let's hold each other accountable.
That's right.
You know what I mean? And that was the biggest thing for me. I'm like, I'm not about to. I knew in the back of my mind, I can go back to Indy. Yeah. But that wasn't
an option.
That wasn't an option. So it's like, okay, the only other option is figure it out.
That's right.
And you got, it took me, bro. It took me years to figure it out. Yeah. And I don't even still haven't figured out. Yeah. You never really master it. Because everything is changing. What I mean?
It's a journey, man. I look at it like, almost like basketball. Like, when you don't know how to play, but then they're like, yo, you fit this position.
For sure.
So now you have to learn to embody that and to be successful, whether it's rebounds, blocking, stealing, shooting a three from the corner. You have it's like a art that you have to master over time. You cannot get content because you never know who your next opponent might be that knows your position too. So you got to adapt to the game. You got to adapt to different, you know what I'm saying? So that's how I look at it. I mean, yeah, once again, man, it's about taking those risks. I do want us to touch a little bit on too, like with the music, because you're not just a person who is just, oh yeah, I know how to write and I know how to sing and I know how to roll out a project. No. Like you work with like some heavy hitters in the industry. This ain't no, y'all, he ain't no like, oh yeah, just a dude who knows how to sing. Like, bro, I done seen you, like, you done kicked it with Kanye. You know what I'm saying? You don't work with Ro James. You don't work with these people in the industry. And I understand, like, your confidence is like, yo, y'all know where I came from? For sure. And I came out here and just pushed?
For sure.
Bro.
And I mean, that's all the confidence you need when, you know, you're able to get into these rooms with, you know, these heavy hitters.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, these people are still human, bro.
Facts.
You know what I mean? And I think that's the biggest thing for me is like, you know, like you're not no better than me just because of what your, you know, your level of success is. You know what I mean? It just so happened that you got there faster than I did.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And truth be told, the ones that you thinking is there ain't really there.
Yeah.
That's the crazy part. So it's like when I started to figure that out, I'm like, oh, so
everybody going through the process.
Everyone's going through the process. It's just how you mask it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's how you were able to put on that, like, oh yeah,
I'm good.
You know, I'm good.
Yeah.
Deep down, no, you're not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And there's nothing wrong with that.
No. It's okay. It's okay.
Nothing wrong
because
with that.
Everybody doesn't have to know.
Exactly.
You know?
And plus, it's beauty in the struggle. That I think the biggest thing for people to realize is, if you're not struggling, if you're not going through these hard times, like you can't embrace. Nothing's gonna happen.
You won't be able to receive the success the way you're supposed to.
It's over, bro. You have to go through. I'm talking about everything that this podcast ain't even long enough for me to tell you all the stuff that I don't. You know what I mean?
That's why I said
in my 11 years.
Yeah, we might need a part 2 of this. Like seriously, because I think it's very important for people to understand. And this, y'all, was also because I want whoever's listening to this who wants to move to California. You want to move to LA. That's your dream. You want to be an actor, an actress, singer. You want to be an entrepreneur, or you want to move to Chicago. You want to move to New York. You want to move to Paris. You want to move to South Africa. Wherever you want to move, understand that you can do it. You just got to prepare yourself for the opportunities that you want.
For sure.
And you can't move with pride.
For sure.
And you got to be able to ask questions and understand, like, you can't do it by yourself.
Yeah, you got to have a team. And I think that was the biggest, being in California, that's what made me realize, because I'm so, we talked about this. Like, I'm doing everything myself.
Yeah.
I know how to edit. I know how to record myself. I know how to pick up a camera, shoot photos. I know how to do I know how to edit pictures. I know how to do, but what time do I have? You remember when we had that conversation? I'm like, I think I might have been telling Don, I'm like, you're not the only one who know how to do that.
Yeah, you got to learn to delegate.
You got to delegate, because now that frees up your time to get to the bag.
That's right.
To other opportunities. We get so caught up, like, oh, I got to do everything myself. It's like, no, you don't.
It's almost,
because this person knows how to do that job, and they probably know how to do it better than you, because that's what they specialize in.
That's it.
So why would I want to say, like, I know how to do that, but you're a better editor than I am. Okay.
And I have no problem saying that.
None
so guess what?
all.
I'm gonna pay you
how much
to do that. Yeah.
how much?
Because then it makes your product even better.
And it's better. I mean, my whole rollout, y'all did my whole rollout.
Yeah.
When I was dropping a song a week, y'all did every single one of them.
Yeah.
I didn't have to. I said, look, I got
Yep.
I got enough content for you to do whatever. Here you go, bro.
Look, I remember the conversation we had. You was like, okay, Danielle edits videos, cool. You do graphics, graphic design, cool.
The perfect duo.
Look, he was like, what can we work on? I told you the price. You were like, hey man, look, I'll do even more. This is how much I pay y'all. And you know what? Just send it to me this time this week, blah, blah. And it was just done.
Clockwork.
Simple as that.
And what did I say? I said, and I told you, I was like, it's never about the money for me.
Yes, that's what I was gonna say. You always told me, he was like, hey bro, it's never gonna be about the money. Money will never be a problem with us. It's all about you growing, me growing, and making sure that we get the work done. Money won't be the problem. Bruh, literally. We don't even, it be times where we do for each other and it's like, bro, it's all good. Because we know we family and we building something.
And that's the difference. When you brought, like, you add value to my life.
Yeah.
I add value to your life.
Yeah.
When you have situations like that, it's different. We created that bond.
That's right.
So that's why it's like when people come in like, oh, well, Steve getting it. And I don't even tell people like that. No, bro, go ask bro what his price is.
Yeah.
Or I'm telling you what the price is. Yep. Because you don't know what we've done behind the scenes or what I've done to or what you've done for, you know what I mean? People don't know that. So now it's like, oh, okay, you can't get caught up in that. Build that relationship with a person before you go right out the gate. Hey, let me get a discount.
Yeah. Yeah. It's got to be one of those things where I feel like you have to respect somebody
for sure
first. Like you got to respect somebody's art, know their value, understand what they doing in their story. I can't remember the last time I done went to somebody and asked for a discount.
No,
it's like, yo, like this is what I need. All right, this is how much you charge. All right, great. I understand why you charge that because I'm understanding being an entrepreneur, how you move, the value of things, especially in the industry that people are. Mm-hmm. And if you have a problem with somebody's charging, go compare.
Elsewhere. Yeah. No, and that's what I was just about to say. Mm-hmm. Don't just get caught up in just one, like, go compare prices. It ain't no different when you're going to go look for a TV. You'll look at Best Buy, you'll look at Target, you'll look at Walmart. Which one's the cheapest? Yeah. That's where you're going to go. But the quality of what you're going to get. Sometimes you got to pay that extra to get the product.
And get that edge up too. You know what I'm saying? It just makes sense.
Mm-hmm. It makes a difference. And people see that on the outside looking in. Yep. People know when you paying something.
Come on. I mean,
like you got that. It don't even matter. Like, you know when someone's paying for something of quality.
Bro, look at this, man. I've seen you whip in the nicest cars and everything. And it's funny because we've both learned how to, just because you see somebody driving something doesn't necessarily know that they know how to get it. And doesn't mean that they got it on their own. And it's like, I don't even look at cars like that no more because I know if I want to go get a Range, I can go get it in the next 2 months. It's just doing my homework, making sure that I move right, correctly, and all that. I could go get it.
For sure.
And I've learned that from you. For sure. So, but you know what I'm saying? Seeing you moving how you moving, having a family, having businesses, and you not be fazed by anything. Like, it's like, I want that, so I'm gonna go get it. Yeah. It's just something that I think is very important to note on, and that people should take advice to see is like, you cannot be intimidated by these material things that you want to have.
For sure.
I feel like a lot of reasons why people don't have the things they want is because they get intimidated by it.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean,
you cannot be intimidated by the house that you want.
No. You have
the numbers that come with it.
No, for sure. You got to know your numbers to grow your numbers. So knowing, like, I look at $1 million+ cribs.
Yep.
Because it's like, once you start looking at stuff so much, it's like, you can't be scared of that.
You can't.
Because if that's what it is that you want, you got to continue to put that in your head, like,
surround yourself.
Yeah, you got to surround. You got to surround yourself, and you got to know that it's attainable. That's the biggest thing for me. I'm like, I came from nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so when you come from there ain't no going lower than that.
There's not.
The only way is up.
Yeah.
So that's how I've always approached anything that I've done. It's just like, oh, okay, if I want to go on this trip, what do I got to do
To get there.
to get there?
Yep.
What is it that I have to do? Because at the end of the day, it's streams of income. I mean, we talk about this all the time. People like, you know, when I'm gonna say on my Facebook, like, you know, 7 streams of income. That's the goal.
Yeah.
The average millionaire has 7 streams.
Yeah.
Working streams. And it's not just having just like, oh, okay, I got 7 things going, but 7 of those things need to be streaming.
And here's the thing too. Where we at now and how we moving, $1 million ain't enough.
No, bro, it's not, bro. And it's so
$1 million ain't enough, man.
no, it's not. And the thing about it, it's not, because sometimes you have to be mindful of who you talk to about things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because sometimes those type of conversations might sound like you bragging.
Yeah.
Like for us to say like, oh, $1 million ain't like people, somebody kill you right now for 500.
Bruh.
You know what I mean? So it's different. It's just the mind.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's the mind, and it's training your mind to be surrounded. That's why I loved LA so much, because when I seen a 21-year-old pull up in a Ferrari and I'm 28 and I'm like,
what do you do? Can I
now
park
mind
that?
you, I don't know his situation.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Tour wasn't around there, so
Nah,
I'm
it
like,
wasn't,
well,
so
it wasn't
you
no
really
tour.
got it.
Where you get it from?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think that was the biggest thing for me. I'm like, man, anything you want in life is attainable. Just gotta put your head down, get your feet dirty, and go full force and go get it. You know what I mean? And ask people for the help.
You got to.
You know what I mean? Ask people for the help. Utilize your if you go, I got $1 billion phone. Our phones.
Oh my gosh.
Our phones.
The contacts.
People don't understand how crucial your phone is.
Yeah.
Bro, you can literally go. I mean, I have numbers in here. I don't even know who these people are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Dude.
when you're building your contact list,
Bro.
you have $1 billion phone. Everything is right here in your phone.
When you told me about the people who like come and get cars from you,
Man, bro.
I can't even name names, y'all. Just off of just respect for your business. I'm not gonna name names
For sure.
but the people that come and get cars from you, bro, just off that. And bro, I just had a conversation with so and so, like we locked in, like, bro,
And we would never even have that conversation if I never got started.
Yep.
Just get started. Whatever it is that you want to do, get started.
Get started.
Because if you don't get started, you'll never know what opportunities will come.
That's right.
And that goes back to the being scared of like, oh man, what if it don't work?
Yeah.
But what if it do work?
Yeah.
And if it don't work, it's like, okay, tweak those things to make it work. Because everything is attainable. You have to know that this is something that you want. Because if you want it bad enough, you're gonna go get it.
And it almost seems like sometimes I think that people aren't necessarily scared to fail. They're scared to succeed. It's almost like, dang, what if I do make it?
Right.
Will I be able to manage? I'm like, bruh, if you making it, you will have the right resources to manage everything.
sure.
Unless you're just that type of person, dumb and don't care where you squander everything that's been given to you.
Yeah.
But you can handle it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And I mean, at the end of the day, it's the knowledge too.
Facts.
Like you can't, if I never had money,
Yeah.
if I'm a person who's never had money and you give me $1 million, what do you think is going to happen?
Come on, man.
Because that's the thing. It's like, no, you got to prepare yourself to get to that million.
Man, make room. Like you got to make room for opportunities, man.
You got to, and I mean, that's a bar too right there.
You got to make room. Like it starts spiritually, mentally, emotionally. That's why me personally, like right now at a point in my life, I don't take things personally no more.
Right.
I don't expect for someone to be this whatever that you want them to be. Nah, you got to understand, you can't take stuff personal from somebody. You got to take care of you. You got to make sure that you are the person that you say you are first.
For sure. First and foremost.
You know?
And like I said, everybody's flawed, bro.
Yeah, facts.
Like, you know what I mean? We get so like, I done kicked it, partied with
Yeah.
some of the best.
Yeah.
you know what I mean, who people would die for to even
just
have
be
a
around.
conversation
Yeah.
to be around. And it's just like, nah, this person is still a human.
Yeah.
But what they did was they changed the game in their niche. They figured out what worked for them.
Yeah.
And that's what it is.
It's that
and you can do
courage.
that too. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's room. There's room. This world it's too big. There's so
big.
much money that's circulating around.
Dog.
You know what I mean? If you go to Walmart right now, or if you go to Target or Rouse is our Kroger's.
Yeah, it is.
FYI.
Our Kroger's out here. By the way, y'all better look into investing in Kroger's too. They
sure.
got so many grocery stores that you can invest in.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
If I go to Kroger right now and you go into the bread section or the cereal section, how many items is
Oh,
it? How many
dude.
different brands
So
of
many.
cereal, of bread? Do you think that, and they're all making millions?
Yeah, and none of them said, "Oh, dang, there's other companies making bread, so I'm not gonna make it."
Put me in the seasoned salt section. Like
Facts.
your
Yeah.
you going your bread is gonna sell different in a different
Yeah.
like these are different brands that are all flourishing.
They just expect the consumer to make the right decision.
That's it, bro. And that's the same thing with any type of business. If I'm a photographer, there's room for you.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? If I do art, there's room for you. Real estate, there's room for you.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Airbnb, there's tons of room for you.
yeah.
Toro, there's room for you.
Man, bro, I think we're gonna have to do a part 2 because this right here is, you already dropped so many gems, but I want to come back. We got to do a part 2 for sure.
Bless
I know
you, boy.
people are gonna request it. So y'all already know. I have my boy Steve James on. Make sure that you follow him. Can you tell them where they can follow you and everything?
Yes, sir. So my Instagram is I am Steve James, all one word.
Yeah.
My Facebook is Stephen James, and I don't even know what else to give.
Website.
My website.
Yeah, for your business.
Yeah. So Cali Lux Rentals, the website is actually being created right now, but
They can find you on Instagram.
yeah, you can find me on Instagram, and then I can direct you to all the different things that I got going on, because I can give you a whole bunch of them right now.
Yeah, clothing brand.
StJamesCollection.com.
Yeah.
I can definitely go in there and get y'all some.
Yeah, some
Y'all some
very, very, very exclusive
drip.
pieces for sure.
Some drip.
But yeah, y'all make sure y'all tap in with my brother Steve James.
Appreciate you, bro.
Oh, come on, bro.
I'm happy. I'm happy for you.
Come on, man.
You know what I mean? You've literally, you know what I mean? You're flourishing.
Yeah.
You know, we've kind of built a crazy bond.
Yep.
You know, both of we got little kings running
Yeah,
around
we
the
got-
same
yeah.
age.
Yep.
So, you know, it's
we locked in forever
yeah,
now.
we locked in, man. So you know, I love to see it. Y'all make sure y'all support.
Yeah.
Go to Generational Maneuvers and subscribe.
All of that.
You know what I mean? Share.
Because
And
we gonna have tools
for sure. We gonna
for
build this
people.
thing up
Yeah, because I know you got something huge coming too. So
for sure.
also, y'all, if y'all want any specific content, make sure you comment below. If there's somebody else that you want me to interview or a topic that you want me to visit and talk about, make sure y'all tap in with that. But I know y'all will definitely need a part 2 from my brother here.
Yeah, we're gonna talk the actual business.
Yes.
On this next one.
Breakdown and giving
breakdown.
gems, because I know you have something special coming too.
For sure.
That's in the works that I want people to tap in with.
sure.
But guys, I'm your host, Dennis Boateng, and this was Generational Maneuvers. Make sure that you subscribe on our YouTube, follow us on Instagram, and tap in with us, because we are building a community, and the thing that we're going to do is continue to move forward and inspire the generations that are coming. So thank you so much, and y'all have a good one.
Yes, sir.
Peace.
Peace.